Hare Krishna. So, here's some new mridanga lessons. My original YouTube channel is called Mridanga Code, but with this channel, I'll probably be repeating, several lessons that I taught in at Mridanga Code. But here I'll be teaching a little bit more rhythms and more techniques, like including this sound, which is called 10 or knock, depending. So I'll be including some extra sounds. So that way, for people who are familiar with Mridanga Code can learn new stuff, and for people who aren't familiar with either channel, can learn the whole repertoire of Mridanga rhythms without having to go back and forth to each channel. So for those who have seen Mridanga Code, the only thing I request is patience. And with this lesson, I've been since I've posted Mridanga Code lessons, I've improved my mridanga, and also I have a better mridanga to show the rhythm. So it's imperative to have a decent mridanga to play and also teach. So since I posted those lessons, I've got a new mridanga. So here I'll be posting the lessons. So with this particular lesson, I'll show the different sounds. Now the small side of mridanga, which is this side, is called the Dayan, and the different sounds of the mridanga are called bols, B-O-L-S, bols. So with this particular lesson, I'll be showing Dayan bols, or the sounds on the small side of the mridanga. So this outer rim is called the gajra. You don't play that. And then the inner rims, the first inner rim is called the kinar. This second inner rim is called the mridangabeats. And then this black part is called the siyahi. So all parts within this within the gajra, not the gajra, but within it, are playable. So the first sound that we'll learn is called ta. Now ta, you take your index finger and you hit the center of the siyahi. So that sound is called ta, and you strike it. Don't muffle the sound. That's another sound. Don't muffle it. You strike it and take it away. Not all the way, but keep it close to mridanga. So that sound is called ta. Then that sound is called ti. You take these three fingers and you cover half of the mridanga. Now that's a closed sound because it has no apparent resonance, but it's important for maintaining rhythm. So some of these silent sounds may seem unimportant, but they actually maintain the rhythm. So after ta, the next sound is ti. You muffle it. You hold it to the mridanga like a Velcro, and keep your index finger up for it's only three fingers, because you keep your index finger up to play other sounds like ta ti or ta ta ti. You can't play it if all your hands are on the mridanga. So ti means three fingers, so you keep your index finger a little off the mridanga so it can be prepared to play other sounds. So after ti, so the first sound was ta. The second sound was ti. Now the third sound. After ti, you just take your index finger and go like that. That's ra. And take your three fingers off the mridanga. You just switch it. So after ti, there's ra. It's not necessarily center, it's a little upward on the siyahi, on the black part. It's because it automatically follows. After ti, you just bring your index finger on the mridanga and take the three fingers off. So that's ra. After ti, then there's ra. And ra is a closed sound. That's ta, and here's ra. It may seem pointless, but it's not. So it's very imperative. It's like Velcro. Make sure you muffle it. Don't hit it like ta. You muffle it, like Velcro. And that's considered a non-resonant or silent sound. Then the next sound after Ra is Te. You take your middle finger and hit the center of the mridanga, middle finger. And that's also a closed sound. That's all it is. Now these silent sounds are easy to make, but you have to really make, when you're practicing, you have to make sure you get the tie. It may seem tricky at first, but strike it as hard as possible. Well, not as hard as possible, but you have to make sure you have a good mridanga also. With the good mridanga, tie is, the open sounds are easier to make, so you have to ask around and ask for mridanga players which sound is a good mridanga. So, because on bad mridangas, this tie is hard to get, or it's not as loud. On a good mridanga, it should be loud and clear. Also, if you don't play it rightly, even on a good mridanga, it may seem that you can't get tied, but so you have to ask around also. So the first sound was ta, the next sound was ti, the next sound was ra, and then the other sound is te. So ta, ti, ra, te. Now, so continuously practice those sounds. Those are the main sounds. Now this next sound is very important and it's very difficult. Now on my last YouTube channel, you have to remember that when I showed these hand movements, these hand sounds, I went from ta to na. Na, you hit this edge. It's a different pitch. But since in mridanga playing, you don't frequently use that a lot, from ta to na. But there is a similar sound that you use the edge for, and it's called tin, or sometimes knock. Tin or knock. Now, this is very difficult to do. So on my last mridanga lesson, na was pretty much straight from the center to right here. But with tin, you go from the center to the edge upward, and it's a hard sound to get. You have to bend your middle finger, and kind of support it on a mridanga, and then you hit it, the edge from here up here. Here's 10. You kind of bend your middle finger, hold it like a base, a foundation, and then you have to hit it, because you can't hit it without having that base. It'd be hard to be accurate. So this foundation, by bending the middle finger, it gives it it provides it the ability to be more accurate at hitting 10. And 10, you lose a lot of time. It makes this mridanga sound very dynamic. You're using a lot of sounds like. So 10, I'll be using 10 a lot, so that's an important sound to practice. Bend the middle finger, make sure it has a firm foundation. So those are the sounds of the Dayan bols, so you have to practice those, and then the next lesson I'll show different drills to practice on the Dayan bols, such as this. Hardball.